Hey everybody, Ryan Nordahl here, Epic Whitetail Habitat LLC. Today we're going to talk about shrubs that you need on your property this year in 2025. There's a variety of shrubs out there that are available to deer that are native to your property, and it all depends on where you are in the country and match your area, your geographical location to the shrubs that you want to order and implement in your habitat plans this coming year and the years to follow. One of my favorite shrubs, and it exists on this property naturally already, and that's Nannyberry. Nannyberry can provide a great screen, which it has done for some of our stand locations. It's provided great screening in that regard, and there's a wide variety of shrubs out there that do this. And again, this is in no particular order, so I'm not ranking these from number one all the way down to my least desirable. They all have their place in a habitat profile, but these are the ones that I want on my property, and Nannyberry already exists. I absolutely love it from a screening aspect, and that leads me into my next one, which is red osier dogwood. I've got some low spots in here, and that's where I find red osier dogwood works the best, is in low areas, wet areas, not necessarily where they're going to have their feet wet 24/7, 365 days, but they can tolerate wetter conditions a lot better. And so again, red osier dogwood, it's a deer candy when it comes to browse, so you're going to want to protect them if you're trying to establish them, be it caged, whatever you got to do, fenced off, whatever you got to do, because deer will go after them, and they'll go after them tenfold. The other one that's kind of naturally occurring on this property as well, but it's a great fit for this property and it works well. Again, it provides some great screen, and that's gray dogwood. Up in these higher elevations, up in the hills and stuff like this, they seem to do really well. Gray dogwood does really well like on the sandier soils. We're a little bit heavier soil here where we're at here on my home property, so we've got some clay loam soil here, but on the sandy loam soils back down on the proving grounds and the family farm, gray dogwood does real well there too. But it's coming naturally here in areas and pockets. And going back to red osier dogwood, you get it established or you find it along roadside ditches and stuff like that. You can take cuttings, you can take your pruner out and get them cut, get them in water, take them out, recut them a little bit, cut that end off again, and just shove them in the ground. I've done that with box elder too. Oh, you're establishing box elder on your property, guys. Box elder's deer candy too, and it's one of the fastest growing trees there is. Now I'm gonna back that up. Now box elder, we're talking trees, not a shrub, but box elder, I don't want you to propagate it if it's not on your property, but if it is on your property, it's got to be managed. I want it in my bedding areas, and there's nothing better than box elder. Well, maybe there is, maples are great, but anyway, we're talking shrubs here today. What's another shrub I want on my property? Well, this could be considered a shrub or a tree, and that's American plum. I want variety of food available to my deer. Apples, pears, persimmon, chestnut trees, they all have their place, but what about plums? Yeah, some plums are more, especially like the American plum, you're probably looking at a very early season drop as far as plums go. But I love to have plums. I love to eat plums myself. Deer do too. Why not incorporate some plums out there? High bush cranberry. On my brother's farm down in his marshy areas, he's got some high bush cranberry that are growing naturally. He did not plant them, he did not cultivate them, whatever you want to say, however you want to say that. But they're coming, and the deer absolutely go nuts over them. They've got a little red fruit on them right now, and the deer are absolutely going nuts over it. I could go on and on about the variety of different shrubs that are out there and that you want on your property. I would not recommend, any honeysuckle by any means. It can take over your woods. We've got it here on our property, and it works well in the bedding areas as far as cover, and a variety of different cover. Deer will browse on it. Don't be mistaken by that. The same with buckthorn. Don't be mistaken by it. Now, if it ain't on your property, I ain't recommending you go out, buy it, and try to establish it. Do not do that at all. Autumn olive is another great one. It exists here on this property. I don't want you to go out and try to propagate it on your property if it doesn't already exist. But it does have its place. They all have their place. Also remember, I could go on and on about native versus non-native species, invasive species, things like that. I have my opinions on them, and a lot of other habitat managers could agree on my opinion. So those are the shrubs that we're going to be using here on our property. Coming up in 2025, we're going to be ordering them and planting them. And, hybrid willow. That could be considered a shrub the way it's a tree, but it could be considered a shrub. Silky willow, silky dogwood. As far as screening goes, they will browse on it. Deer will browse on those as well, so they do need to be protected. There's just a lot out there, but those are the ones that I recommend on the majority of properties that I visit for a good, sound habitat improvement plan. Guys, thanks for joining me on this video. If you're new to my channel, or you just simply haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like and a share. Leave a comment what shrubs you like on your property. And thank you very much for joining me. God bless you all. Thank you.